This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm Liz Palaika, and with me for this podcast again are my good friends Petra Burke.
Hello.
And Kate Abbott.
How do?
And in our last several podcasts, we've addressed some fairly serious issues, including breed bans and why they don't work, and talking about summer safety, some of the dangers your dog could face in the summer, especially in the heat. We talked about some training issues like attention, the oppositional reflex. So in tonight's podcast, we thought we'd talk about something a little more fun. And we all looked up our favorite or the most attention-getting. Kate picked up a scary one. But the movies that we like the most with dogs as a featured character. Either the movie's about the dog or the dog plays a big part in the movie. And I have to say, looking at our selections, they're all over the place. We each have our own tastes. So, Kate, why don't you lead off with one of yours? What's one of you want to talk about the scary one that scarred you, or you want to talk about a favorite one?
Might as well get that one out of the way. I had to even look it up to remember the name. It's called Outrage, came out in 1973, based on a true story, which made it all the more horrifying. But a guy and his wife and his dog move into a affluent neighborhood, and they are terrorized by a group of teens who live in that neighborhood, and their rich parents do not hold them to account. And amongst other things, the family that moved in had this really well-behaved St. Bernard, gentle giant, and the boys, mostly led by boys, tried to kill the dog several times, and they saved twice because of obeying good timed commands.
So good obedience training.
But on the third time, when the guy isn't home, they lure the dog away with poisoned meat and kill him. So I was both impressed with the dog's training and just scarred for life that the dog was killed.
And let's see.
Which was the beginning of my decision not to watch a movie if I knew ahead of time the dog was going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Old Yeller, and that
was as a kid.
When I was a kid, and that
classic
horrified me. As a little kid, I either didn't know or didn't understand that the dog was going to die, that Old Yeller was going to die, or how he was going to die. Mm-hmm. And I remember sobbing and sobbing, and my mother yelling at my dad, "Why did you let her watch that?"
We had a yellow lab growing up.
Oh, even worse.
That was worse.
Yeah.
I was like, Daddy, it's not going to happen to Jackie.
I think between Old Yeller, Bambi's mother, and then this movie with the St. Bernard, that was it. I just said, no, I'm not going to go see anymore.
Yeah, oh, yeah, Bambi was horrible.
What's the Omega Man remake? Oh, it's been a while now. Prince of Fresh Air, Bel-Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. Will Smith?
Will Smith, thank you.
That was funny.
That was a roundabout.
Remake. Into the world, everybody else is zombies except him and his German Shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't go see it. Found out the dog got killed halfway to three-quarters, and I've won't go see it.
Nope. All right, well...
No.
Now that I'm traumatized again.
Which is why, okay, I'll get all these out of the way. I will never go see Pet Sematary.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or Cujo.
Or Cujo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get those out of the way.
Okay, well, one
I like 'em.
that I did care for, it wasn't my number one favorite, but I did care for it, but the dog dies, but dies of old age,
Well, yes.
was Hachi with Richard Gere.
It was like a natural death.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died of old age.
That was good. It showed the love and dedication.
Yeah.
I
was a
liked,
good movie.
that's what I liked with Hachi, it showed his loyalty.
Yes.
And if you don't know the story, it also was based on a true story. There was an Akita who had been found by the Richard Gere character. He'd been lost, and Richard Gere took him in. And
Of course, the movie was better because it had Richard Gere in it.
well, of course, you notice I've said that name so many times. But they developed a friendship, even though Hachi, the Akita, didn't do the doggy things that Richard Gere's character assumed he should do, like fetch, and he was a very dignified dog. And he accompanied his master to the train station every morning and waited for him every night. And they had that time back and forth every day, every work day. And then one day his owner didn't come home. And the other family members tried to persuade the dog to come home, sometimes even forcibly removing him from the train station, but he'd always escape and go back to the train station. And so, in a really sad way, he spent his life waiting for his master to come back.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of the loyalty. And another one that's on my list.
And there's a statue of him.
Oh, yes.
At that train
At the train
station in
station,
Japan.
yeah.
Yes. And
Yep.
on the other side of the world, there's another story with that same thing, Greyfriars Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Greyfriars Bobby stayed at his owner's grave for the rest of his life, and there's also a statue there also. He was a little scruffy dog, but his owner died of pneumonia. And in that era, way back when, pneumonia was a killer. And people tried to adopt him, tried to take him home, did take him home, and he just kept going back to the cemetery, even though the cemetery caretaker didn't believe dogs should be at a cemetery, but eventually gave in and quit trying to chase him away. But this one took place in Scotland, but both similar stories. Again, showing the loyalty.
Devotion of dogs.
The devotion, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
on a happier note.
All right, yeah.
I believe we all enjoyed Turner and Hooch.
Oh, I know I did.
Not me. I watched all that
liked it.
slobber going all over and
I
went,
know.
oh, yuck.
I liked
As
it.
I was rethinking the movie,
Uh-huh.
the dog dies at the end.
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember.
Gets shot.
That's right, at the very end.
But you know what? He dies nobly.
But didn't he leave back
He
a...
left a pregnant bitch.
Yeah, that's right. And he got a puppy.
Well, no, all of them, because he married the veterinarian who had
That's
the
right,
dog.
he had the dog.
So it ends with this happy note of all of
That his
Hooch's
legacy
kids.
goes on. Yes.
Yes, all of his puppies.
That's right.
Which, and we're always saying don't adopt siblings, and they give the whole letter, and then it restarts
It was a
all
movie.
over again. But it
Yeah.
was. I can still close my eyes and see that doggy
the
Dipper
slow
does
motion?
of him shaking his
That
head
was
and
awesome.
the flues and the lips and the spittle.
That's what
And the look of Tom
grossed me.
Hanks when that first happened and all this, oh my gosh. That was
Grossed me
awesome.
out so bad. I never
Oh my
watched it to the end.
I forgot
but
he
you-
died. Yeah,
but-
that's right. And
Hanks
then-
did his usual great job.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Hooch did a great, whoever the dog was
But
was
remember,
great and noble.
Yes.
remember, we had an influx, not of a lot of Dogue de Bordeaux, because there weren't a lot of them at that point, but we did several,
We did
and
have-
had
yeah.
several come to class after that, like about, 6 months after that. But no, all the damage that he did, and then that drool going all over, oh no, that grossed me out big time.
Eating the upholstery in the car,
Uh-huh.
eating the car, the inside of the
Yeah,
car.
Oh my
yeah,
god, there's slobber everywhere.
yeah.
But he had a noble death, and he left.
Yes, and he
Left a memory.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
All right,
That's
Petra, how
right.
about one of yours?
Well, growing up, I watched Lassie. I mean, who didn't?
Yeah.
It always was just a cute story. It was always saving Timmy, always saving somebody. But it was just, it was just one of those feel-good movies, And what's interesting with that, the backstory on that, good friends of my parents lived 2 houses down from the original Lassie.
Oh, red weatherwax?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember being little, and my friend, we called her Aunt Regina, we went down, and I had met him and his son, and this was probably maybe the 3rd generation of Lassie. So actually the actor dog of Lassie. And then some of the litters that were there, but that was like the coolest thing ever because I met.
You met Lassie.
I met Lassie.
Whoa!
Over the years, obviously, there's many Lassies, so I met one of them.
I never knew. Can I touch your arm?
Yes. Give you honored now.
Wow.
That was the coolest thing ever. That was awesome. Yeah. So that besides watching and loving the movies, to actually meet one of the Lassies.
Absolutely cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Balto was also one that
Balto?
Balto was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Balto was good. The fact that, pushed through all that weather and up in Alaska.
The Iditarod is in their memory. Mm-hmm. And then when we were back in New York, one of our trips back to New York for the Dog Writers Association banquet, we went to Central Park and saw the statue.
Yeah, which I didn't know was even there.
So somewhere we have
cool.
pictures of each of us with Balto's statue. Yeah. And he did not.
New York, not in Alaska. We're in New York.
New York City.
Really, Central Park.
Afterwards they did big parades and tours, and the guy's name, I don't even remember the guy's name, but he and Balto, because this huge life-saving mission that nobody thought they could do, and they did, and so there were big, there wasn't much in the way of entertainment back then.
Ticker tape parades.
Yeah, there were ticker tape parades all over, and I guess in New York was one of the biggest, and so there's a statue in New York of Balto. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But cool. The interesting thing was, and Petra and I both talked about it then, he did not look like the Huskies and sled dogs that we see today. If you watch the coverage of the Iditarod today, those are long-legged, lean, sometimes even shorter-coated dogs. They're racing dogs. Balto was stocky and tank-like, and he was strong, like he could pull the whole sled all by himself. So it was interesting how much things have changed.
Yeah. Then I think the one we all like, Best in Show.
Oh. Yes.
Best
you got
in
your peanuts, your burl peanuts, and your almonds. Oh yeah, that was
Best in Show is on my list of favorites too, because
people. It's the people more than
it was
the dogs.
the people.
I think sometimes the dogs were looking at the people with the way the audience was. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who are you?
And I remember when Liz and I saw it, we're like, oh, that is so-and-so. We know a person, that's that so-and-so. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Having shown my dogs for a number of years, not in the last 15 or 18, but having shown dogs for a long time, and Petra and I having gone back to Westminster for several years, and kind of just sitting there at Westminster going, okay,
Right.
So when the movie came out, we recognized a few of those folks. In fact, I won't do it here, but we even put some names on some of them.
We did.
So
I like the Coen Brothers movies.
Yeah. So Best in Show was a blast. All right, Kate, what else you got on your list?
Well, I was thinking of some silly ones for my. Does anybody remember the Doberman gang?
Oh
Basically,
yeah.
Trained a bunch of Dobermans to rob
banks.
Yes, rob banks.
Yep.
Now, what I can't remember is I knew there was a plot twist. Did the dogs run off with the loot at the end all by themselves? Or did one of the trainers take them? I knew there was something at the end.
I don't remember.
I just remember watching, I think I was more fascinated by the Dobermans.
Yeah.
Because they're not what they look today. They were just...
And they weren't very popular at the time.
No.
They were always the evil dogs.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right.
But they were just like, wow.
I remember
majestic or something about them, regal, or the plot, I don't know. I was fascinated by the dogs.
I remember when Paul and I were watching it, we were talking about the training.
Yeah.
How did they do that? Okay, they trained they did this and this and this and this.
Right. Even at that, whenever it came out, which was probably junior high for me or something. Anyway, it was like, look at how well those dogs are trained.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the dogs played some kind of joke on them at the very end of the movie was, because I thought that was great. So yeah, not the evil Dobermans, but the fun, sense of humor, good working dogs.
There were 6, I think.
Yes, I'm thinking there's 6.
They were all named after bank robbers, so Bonnie and Clyde and stuff like that, names like that. Yeah, not not in your top 100 classic movies of all times, but
No.
I enjoyed it. Had fun with it.
Yeah, the dogs' names were Dillinger, Bonnie, Dillinger from John Dillinger, Bonnie from Bonnie and Clyde, Clyde Barrow from Bonnie and Clyde, Pretty Boy Floyd, Babyface Nelson, and Ma Barker.
Yep.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the plot twist at the end, whether the dogs run off with the loot on their own, which of course would make no sense, how would they spend it? But anyway.
No, they were smart enough.
They ran
They could.
home with it.
Yeah.
Or
to
did
their
one
hideout.
of the trainers, one of the gang, teach the dogs to then at the very end run off with just them?
Yeah.
But there was
Yeah.
something at the end where they didn't all get the loot from
Yeah.
the bank robbery.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Drop us an email if you
I'd
remember the
like
ending.
to know.
All right, well, we need to take a break for our sponsors, so hold on. We've got a lot more to talk about when we get back.
Sit, stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Tired of wasting money on giant bags, boxes, and jugs of litter that don't last? Switch to World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter that lets you use less and get more. World's Best Cat Litter uses the concentrated power of corn to deliver outstanding odor control and easy cleanup. It's lightweight, 99% dust-free, and pet, people, and planet friendly. It's even flushable. Make the switch to World's Best Cat Litter and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Ew, get the stinky dog away from me. Bad breath and bad gas. Petey stopped eating. All his hair fell out.
Itching, licking, missing fur.
At least $5,000 in vet bill. Creams, antibiotics, sprays.
No results.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite. DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids. Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa. The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The shedding is stopped and the itching is stopped.
Her coat is now soft, it's silky, it's healthy and shiny and glossy.
She's got life. She's got energy.
Tons of energy, no more bad smell.
Dinovite's the bomb.
Dinovite is the best thing that's ever happened to my dogs, besides me, of course.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm Liz. With me today are Petra and Kate.
Okay, Milo and Otis.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah. Okay, Petra and I are going, grins. Liz is going, eh.
It's cute.
I didn't fall for the cutesy movies so much. I like the adventure movies. White Fang and
Milo and Otis, the whole thing was an adventure.
it was cutesy.
And by the way, I have heard rumors that it wasn't filmed according to the American Humane Society's taking care of the animals thing. So if that's true, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I can't do anything about it right now, and I want to have a good memory of it. So,
right?
Yeah. And the dub-overs and everything. Yes, it was cute.
Yeah. And I don't like talking dogs, except for in the animated.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
And that's because he had science.
Yeah. And they had a mechanism or photos
that's
that
the
made
science I'm referring to.
The science. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not fond of talking dogs in books either. As much as I love dogs, and I think they're brilliant at times, I think they're dogs. They're not people. So
it was entertainment factor, huh?
Yeah.
Most of it was voice over.
Yeah.
There was the occasional.
What
was the pug song? I remember when he went to save the cat. He was running through the field singing the pug song. Yeah, something like, "Here I am, the pug. Here I come to save you." It was great. Okay, all right.
Fine.
Yes. I fall for sappy sometimes.
Yeah. All right, Petra.
Sorry. No, because I had a few of mine. Go for it.
Cats and dogs. Do you remember?
Yeah, that
It was
that
another
one-
talking dog. I
Yeah,
grant
but
you.
I like that one better than I like Milo and Otis.
Because
yeah.
once again, he had science and technology
Right,
to
right,
enable him to
right,
talk.
right.
And at the very end, when the greatest Dane,
Yes,
the leader
Yes.
of the planet,
Oh my god.
Yeah,
voiced by Vanessa
Yes.
Redgrave,
yeah.
shows up and is so magnificent. With Cheech's voice doing the little
the Chihuahua, right?
is it Chihuahua or a Quaddle? Zolo.
A Sholo.
I think it was a
was
Sholo.
it Sholo?
I think it was a Sholo. Anyway, and which it was just, it's a great setup. And it's a boy and his dog.
Yes.
And in the end, it's because he was bonded to humans that he ended up saving the planet.
Yeah.
So there.
Wasn't the whole idea to come to this planet as pets?
And take over.
Uh-huh.
Take over the humans. Make humans their pets.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, that part of that goes with Up.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
there were the Dobermans who were, unfortunately, played the evil ones.
They were
took
the
it from
bad
the-
minions.
They took
the
it from
bad
that
guy.
movie, the Doberman game.
Yeah, yeah.
By an offshoot.
Up, I liked Up in many ways, although after Paul passed away, I couldn't watch it for a long time. But, you know, the old man loses his wife, and they give us the backstory of the romance they had. And
But what amazed me is there was so much, not talking, because there wasn't any talking, but you knew the story.
Right.
I mean, they did
in
so
the
good. You knew
pictures
exactly.
and
Yeah.
The pantomime of their courtship.
Yeah, and
great.
then the Boy Scout showing up and being persistent, and I, not in so many words, but I will help this old man who's lonely, and then Doug the dog,
It was great.
who, yeah,
To this day in class, we will do the squirrel.
yeah, oh yeah,
So the
Yeah.
three of us saw that movie when we'd gone to the Pet Expo in Florida.
right, and it was hot
that's
and
right.
muggy.
And we wanted to get out of that and go.
And it
to
was
the
like,
movie theater.
oh, there's a movie theater. And we were,
That's
what,
right.
3 out of 5 people in the whole theater.
Oh, and laughed and got a little teary at times, and
good.
yeah, we went to see it because we just wanted the air conditioning.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
that turned into a huge favorite. It's one of my very favorites.
I think the best thing about that movie, we say it in class all the time, squirrel. Everybody starts laughing. They know exactly
Yep.
what it's from.
they all know it.
They all know
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And if
Yeah.
you go to see it, hang around for the outtakes at the end.
yes,
Yep.
Yeah.
Great outtakes.
Oh, if you rent it now.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
still,
Still go,
on the
hey,
video.
just don't stop it.
Or the DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Watch
and
it.
with Up, Doug the Lab or the Golden. What was he? Was he
He was
a Lab Golden mix or?
Okay.
He was
every dog.
He was every
No,
dog.
he's a
Yeah,
Heinz 57.
but again, he was able to talk because he had science.
He had science.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of my favorites.
How about you? No?
Well, pets.
See, I don't even remember what that
The
was.
animated one with the rabbit and the... You brought us in toys.
And the Pomeranian.
Oh, the recent one. I was
Recent
thinking of an
one.
old
No,
one.
No,
yeah.
It's recent, like last year or something.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one was hysterical.
Funny.
Yeah.
That
And
was good.
the-
That little Pomeranian, I'm like, wow, that's my dog. Keely.
that's Keely.
That's Keely.
Yeah, that's Keely.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's one of my favoriets too. That's number 2.
What you gonna do today? I'm gonna sit right here and wait for Katie to come home.
Yeah.
Had a very busy day.
Yep. Yeah, that's way up there on the list. And then when I was a kid, or actually they came out after I was a kid, but I read the books, and then when the movies came out, I had to go see them. The Jack London books, White Fang, and with Buck, and that whole series. Adventure dogs, strong dogs, fight off the bad guys, whether they be human or
wolves and bears.
Wolves and
That's
bears.
funny. Then here's Kate, you and I. Dog, cats and dogs. I was like, yeah, adventure. We're like, oh,
Strong
my God, that's
dogs.
funny.
Strong dogs who protect their owners and have this bond with them and fight off wolves to save them. Yes.
Yeah, those are good movies and good books.
Well, in Buck was a San Diego dog
Busy.
who was stolen and shipped to Alaska as a slave.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back in
He
gold mining.
he
Yeah.
didn't. He was a San Diego warm country never saw snow
in the book.
In the book, and
had to adapt fast.
Didn't know anything about that life, and in the beginning he got sore feet, and I felt, as a Californian, I felt so bad for him. Poor San Diego dog, he doesn't know what all that white stuff is, and it's cold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the other silly one out. Hotel for Dogs.
Actually, that one was good. I liked that
they
one.
had some good trick training in that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was cool.
And
Okay.
I watched the training in that one too.
Yeah.
If I can, training,
Yeah,
The tricks that they did with those dogs was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see. I'm on a roll.
Okay. All right, go for it.
I'm going to blow it on this one.
All right.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Oh, God.
That was probably a bit much for me too, but
And that is why now our shelters are overflowing with chihuahuas.
I know. You know, really, the hero of the movie was the German Shepherd.
Yes. But everybody focused on the chihuahuas.
The training of the chihuahuas, and that part when they're at the Aztec temple and remembering their royal path and past, and they're all chanting together, whatever it was they were chanting. I thought that was stirring.
You know, I never made it that far in the movie.
There was some good training in that movie, too.
I didn't see it.
It really was. Well, you would have loved the German Shepherd.
I watched part of it.
It really was the hero.
done.
Yeah, I think I changed the channel. I didn't go to the movie theater. I think I changed the channel about partway through.
All right, how about Benji?
Okay, try it again.
Benji?
Oh.
Benji is sweet.
Yeah, Benji was like the incredible journey /
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound.
I liked Homeward Bound, actually, I did.
Oh,
you know, with the Siamese cat. Let's see. The old Golden.
Then
And the Siamese cat.
And was it American Bulldog?
American Bulldog.
Yeah.
Chance.
Yep.
Chance, yeah.
And they did so well with the voices. They really matched up the characters nicely.
Yeah.
A lot of the storyline was stretching it a bit, but yeah,
It's entertainment.
Good training too.
Yes, it was.
Particularly with the young dog.
So another one with the training? Babe.
Yes.
It was a pig, but there was Border Collie in there
That's
too.
true. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yep.
And how many people, if you say that, they know exactly what movie, they know exactly what you're saying.
Well, there was good training on the pig.
Paul used to say that all the time.
Yes, he did.
Like, oh God.
Yep. There was good training on the pigs. There were multiple pigs. But there was a Border Collie in there too.
Couple.
A couple, yeah.
The one that was his foster mom.
Yeah. So what else we got?
8 Below.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of...
It wasn't warm and fuzzy, but
No.
particularly when the dogs were on their own. Well, the one scene where the male dogs go off and are bringing down seagulls. And they're taking all the food and piling it up in front of the dominant bitch. And my friends that are in the audience with me are like, oh, isn't that sweet? And I'm going, what a wonderful example of a dominant bitch taking over the resources. And then, divvying it up. And they're looking at me like, no, it's just nice. No, it's really good.
It's sweet. It's sweet.
I was outraged that they got left there. And then the hope that they come back and rescue them. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
That one was based on a true. That one was based on a true story.
Based on a true story, and I thought a lot of the behavior in it was true.
Mm-hmm.
Felt real.
I did watch that one, and I liked the training behind it. I had known of the story.
Yeah.
It didn't make my top 10 list, but yeah, the training was impressive.
And you got one. You see it on your face.
Silly, the ugly dachshund.
Oh, no.
You even remember that?
Yeah, I remember it. It's an old movie.
Great Dane is raised with a litter of dachshunds, and he thinks he's a dachshund.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why?
And it's typical Disney where the house gets trashed and things happen. What was it? Suzanne Plachette and I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the Misfit story. Classic theme. I think as a kid I just laughed till I peed my pants. It just made me laugh. It was silly. Completely silly. Yep.
See, I guess I really don't like the ones where the dogs misbehave terribly.
Well, he didn't mean to.
But he still misbehaved terribly.
He just didn't know.
Turner and Hooch and the Ugly Dachshund and Marley. Oh, Marley and me. Oh my God.
Oh, that one just is. That's
Gosh.
We've been talking around that one, haven't we?
Yeah. I've been training dogs for so many.
That one was painful.
Yeah. I just really don't like the ones where the dogs are really behaving terribly.
Really badly.
Yeah, really badly.
And I wasn't real thrilled with the representation of the dog trainer at the beginning of the movie.
No.
I like Kathleen Turner in Body Heat, but not as a dog trainer. Nope. She blew it.
Yep.
She played the part that she was supposed to play, but
the part. Yeah, but it came from a book, so there was, there was a basis for her character.
Well, and then the two other animated ones that we all grew up with, Lady and the Tramp. Here's this classic Cocker Spaniel, and then this...
I'm sorry, the scene of them sucking spaghetti is just...
Oh, that has just been replayed. That is a cultural meme.
Right.
I don't care whether it's a cultural meme. It's just so sappy that it's...
Is this the classic boy from the wrong side of the tracks?
Exactly.
I don't have that much romance in my soul, I guess.
I don't know how many times in my life have I watched that movie.
And it's like you mentioned with Beverly Hills Chihuahua. It sort of really put a dent in the...
Cocker Spaniel?
Thank you. Cocker Spaniel showing and breeding and temperament and everything. They
just
went down.
And talking about movies, we need to talk about that. That's what happens. 101 Dalmatians. When they remade that not too long ago, they had trouble finding Dalmatian breeders who would cooperate because they said, no, we don't want a huge demand for Dalmatians. That's bad for the breed. And that's what happened with Cocker Spaniels after Lady and the Tramp. After Rin Tin Tin and Strongheart, that's what happened to German Shepherds.
Even Lassie and Collies.
Yeah. Lassie and Collies. After Milo and Otis, Pugs. So, unfortunately...
I'm not sure that's ever gone away.
No, I don't think so. So, unfortunately,
And how many people have said, oh, you have a Jack Russell, just like on Frasier?
Yes.
Yeah. That is not like most Jack Russells.
Yes. Yeah.
We met him, too.
We met Moose, and we met Moose's trainer, and our dogs got complimented.
From Moose's trainer. She was impressed with our dogs. It was Shasta and Ursa.
We went to a dog training seminar in Arizona, and had a booth for some of my books. And to get the books up there, we had brought a wagon, and our dogs knew how to pull, but we had to go up a Z-shaped ramp.
It was a wheelchair ramp.
With sharp corners. So, especially coming down, the dog pulling it down had to pull, back and fill and turn, pull, back and fill and turn, go down, back and fill and turn, and it was complicated. And I didn't realize it, but when Ursa was taking a load out down to the van, we were doing this, and I was concentrating on Ursa. And when we got to the bottom, somebody was clapping and cheering for us, and I turned around almost thinking it was going to be Petra, except I knew she was in the booth. And Moose's trainer was standing there with Moose on the leash, and she said, wonderful dog training, wonderful, wonderful.
And I think she was watching us the whole time from beginning to end, because we were bringing in each dog with the wagon and coming out, and she's just like, and great training.
Oh,
and
she came over and talked to
everything. They had a job to do. Got a purpose, and she was impressed.
Yeah, she
We
came
were
over.
like, oh my God, we got a compliment from the star.
Yeah, she came over, and when I got back up, she came over to the booth and talked to us for quite a while. So,
Nice.
I think that's probably the one thing. Every time a movie comes out, I think all three of us look at each other going, oh no.
We're going to see a whole lot of those.
We're going to see that breed, or we're going to see this breed.
Yeah.
And stretching what we said we're going to talk about, the TV show. As today I was watching my boy walk ahead of me on the dusty path, I was reminded of the TV show The Littlest Hobo.
No.
I heard of it, but I don't think I've ever
Vaguely.
seen it.
It's the classic story of the loner, like Then Came Bronson, the loner male who travels from city to city helping
Bronson,
people.
That's way before her time.
Oh, am I showing my age?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Because Paul used to watch it. I had never heard of it, but Paul loved Bronson. But that's way before. I mean, Petra's not that much younger than us, but she is younger than us.
I don't think The Littlest Hobo was on for very long, but it was a little dog, and he didn't speak, but he traveled each week. He traveled from town to town, on the railroad or just walking.
Harry something.
Oh, I think I remember my dad watching it.
Something.
And he would bring people together or solve a problem or do something good.
I think my dad watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about watching.
Was it a black and white movie?
Yes, TV show. Yep.
TV show.
Watching.
I think I've not watched it, but I think I've seen it. Like
your dad probably watched it like my
maybe a
dad
repeat
did
or something.
Yeah. All right. You got more on your list?
Oh, I've got. Yeah, they were okay. Canine Cop, Beethoven.
Yeah.
I guess that's.
Yeah, it was fun just watching Beethoven. It's been watching St. Bernard's.
Well, I guess again, I refuse to go see A Dog's Purpose. That movie. It's a recent movie.
Yeah, the recent one. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Max either.
If I won't go see a movie where the dog dies once, I'm not going to go see it where he dies, 15 times or something?
And
some of them horribly.
Just recently released a movie that was from a local story to us. We're in San Diego, North County, just south of the Marine Corps base Camp Pendleton. And there was just recently a movie done about a woman Marine and her German Shepherd working dog, right? And it's just released. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go watch that one either.
I would like to. I would like to go see her story.
Okay.
But I just don't know if I can.
But part of it is she and the dog are separated.
Yeah.
And
which unfortunately is the life.
Right. Right. And if you're assigned with a dog, you're told that in the beginning. Yeah. The only reason that I wasn't separated from my working dog is he had hip dysplasia and they retired him. And I was able to help place him in his new home where he worked as a service dog for a little girl. So he was able to continue his job there. But otherwise, when I got out of the military, I would have lost him. Mm-hmm. So, it's a very sad story. For me, maybe a little too close.
Yeah.
But I've read the reviews on it, and I've read some of the publicity articles on it. Sounds like a great movie. The training of the dog sounds wonderful. I've seen some of the pictures of the dogs, but it's like, how many times do we see, because we're such a military area here, San Diego is a huge military area, of the guys that are now out of the service begging to be reunited with their working dogs when their working dogs are retired. And sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. Sometimes the dog is gone. It's like, rip my heart out and throw it on the floor and stomp on it.
And every time I see a video of that, when they are reunited with their working dog, I'm a slobbering mess. I'm thinking, Grant, if I see this movie again.
You can go see it and tell us about it.
Bring lots of Kleenex.
Maybe with a couple of slugs of whiskey before I go in. I don't know.
Drive there first. Have a couple shots.
Wait, I might go with her at that point.
It's more like I think it could be a good. I'll wait for some more reviews.
Yeah.
Could be a good movie, something worthwhile to see, but it is going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, of all our lists, before we let our listeners go, what was your number one favorite one, Kate? If you took all of these movies that you liked, which one was your top favorite?
Up.
Yeah. See, that's mine too. Up.
You know what one we didn't talk about? Rin Tin Tin.
Oh, I've got Rin Tin Tin on my list for books we talk about our favorite books.
I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
Yep. Rin Tin Tin was all like, gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always watched it.
Yeah.
But of the movies, Up was my very favorite. Okay.
Even though it's animated.
Yeah.
You will watch movies over and over in the DVDs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I rarely do, but Up is one that I will.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm introducing it to somebody for the first time. You haven't seen this? Sit down.
If I really like a movie, I will watch it 2 or 3 or 4 times because I think every time I see it, I see more. And especially if it's a fast-paced movie.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'll see more details. And it's like, oh, I missed that. Oh, look at that. And it's the same with a good book. If I have a favorite book, I won't reread it right away, but maybe in a year or two. I'll read it again and go, I forgot that, or I don't remember catching that. Because the first time through, I probably read it fairly quickly, and then we'll go back to it. But I think Up was my favorite also. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
She likes Rin Tin Tin.
But I did like Rin Tin Tin.
Yeah.
It was not a movie, it was a show, but somebody.
And you both ended up getting German Shepherds.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to this day, like that one in our class, I'm going to steal him. God, I love that dog. German Shepherd. Yeah, still my first love.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll let you go. We hope we gave you some ideas and you go up on Netflix or find some DVDs and maybe some movies that you haven't seen. And then stay tuned for another podcast because our next one we're going to talk about our favorite books. And I'm sure that's a very diverse list also. So take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.